And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another day, another week, another month here of the Rex Madness, the Rex April Madness Group D. I'm, of course, host Live VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in the chat, and by their plushies as well. Welcome, one and all, to the group stage of the Rex April Madness. This is an event that's been going on all month, all of April. Last week, we had Group A and Group B. This week, we have Group C, and now Group D, the final group of the group stage. And here we go. We have 4 players ready for us here tonight. So we're going to be featuring MaxPax, Ryung, Byun, and Rogue. Here we go. And spawning in the right hand corner of StarCraft, we have our Danish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, the Tuna Terran himself. For Team Vitality, it is Ryung. Hey, and if you're in the chat, you know what it is? You know what time it is, Bob. You know what time it is? It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series, on who you think will come out on top and make it through into the winners match. Here we go. For some greater context here of the group itself, 4 players enter, 2 players do advance on into the playoffs, and this is not round robin. This is GSL format. What does that mean? That means we have 5 series in total. We have our first 2 matches, then we have the winners match, then the elimination match, and then the decider match at the end. Let's go. Let's go. Initially, we do have our best of 3s. We have best of 5s later on in the evening, so do not worry. We will sink our teeth into the rest of the group momentarily. And likewise, again, this is the final group of the group stage. Next week is the playoff bracket. Next week, it's 2 days of playoffs, the initial quarterfinals, then semis, then grand finals thereafter. Until then, we're jumping in. We're jumping into our first series here. So far, Economic Opener out of Ryung. Likewise, a Gate Cyber Expand out of MaxPax. Here we go. Again, exciting news on the horizon when it comes to our map pool. If you haven't tuned in, this is one of the custom map. This is a custom map pool here for this tournament. StarChild is an older TLMC 17 map, but what I mean by that, we did go over it last night during the podcast. We do have a fresh map pool on the horizon here. TLMC 20 did conclude. And on Team Liquid, we have confirmation that those working behind the Team Liquid map contest now have a little bit more authority and are constructing and deciding on which maps to add to the new map pool. So exciting news on the horizon. So far, they have listed what they currently plan on releasing as new maps, but they are open to, or they're still getting feedback when it comes to what maps to add and how to refine the overall map pool and what to conclude and what to settle on. So exciting news on the horizon. I believe the new map pool is set to release before EWC. Before EWC, which means most likely before the EWC qualifiers as well. Which I don't think we have dates on. I don't think we have dates on the qualifiers yet, but once we do, then we'll have a better idea of kind of when the map pool will drop. Until then, though, we're able to enjoy and embrace one of the more newer maps, or I guess more unorthodox or different maps in the map pool here, like StarChild. Now, when it comes to StarChild, this is a larger map of the map pool. Again, Economic Opener out of Ryung so far. Just keeping up with the adepts, keeping up with the shades. But this is a macro map. We have a very long rush distance by ground, a lot of bases to be taken as well. But what's important here is that these bases are very accessible in a longer game state, whether it's attack avenues, attack paths into the 4th base, knocking down these rocks, attack paths into the 3rd, in between the 3rd and the linear 3rd base, as well as the triangular 3rd as well. So again, it's a little more of an accessible map here to make it more difficult to turtle up and to hunker down. Until then, we do have our adepts threading shades, and so far Ryung is keeping up with said adepts. He does get his base up and running. No bunker, which is a bit of a bold move here from Ryung. We'll see if MaxPax can abuse that. For now, he does get deflected. For now, Ryung is keeping up. Back at home, our build of choice, Twilight Council. Twilight Council opener into Blink. How many gateways? We have 2 gates. 2 gates for the time being. Most likely 2 gate into a 3rd. Yep, there it is. 3rd base now on the way. So Economic Opener out of MaxPax. Likewise, Economic Opener out of Ryung. Oh. As behind this tank production has begun, going for 2nd racks into a 3rd racks. Tech Lab on the starport, going for the Raven opener initially as well. Everything so far looking quite standard, quite normal. The initial mine drop does make its way across the map, and MaxPax, he does have eyes on this. He will respond, and he will defend. So that's a good. 1 probe goes down. We get the mine drop here into the main base as well. So far, MaxPax, again, he's keeping up. It's only going to be 2 wooden mines, and the shot goes off, getting 1 more probe, 2 in total. 2 works into, oh my god. And as we settle in, as we calm things down, I do just remember that we have some shout outs. Of course, we have some shout outs in the chat, Bobby. Thank you so much to KengTQD in the chat for the gifted sub to the community. Oh my god, thank you so much to Cryptic SC, the gifted sub. Thank you, KengTQD. Do appreciate the support. Also, before I forget, thank you so much to Captain Fish. Captain Fish, he was laddering, he was streaming earlier, did give us a raid as well. Thank you so much to Captain Fish. Do appreciate the support as always. Captain Fish is a regular in our amateur tournament, so much love. Gracias. Thank you. And last but not least, a big shout out to Sounder for also subscribing for 53 months. That's a lot of months with Twitch Prime. 53 months, Jesus, that's crazy. So thank you so much for the support. Do appreciate it. As we do indulge in our game, MaxPax does dive in, denies one of the add-ons, and will threaten the main base. Again, the main base is large enough here where the Stalkers can freely just chill within the main base. There are still 2 tanks covering the production though, and another add-on is going to be denied just barely. Add-on is cancelled. Likewise across the map, Autochart does get a couple of probe kills, gets 2 workers so far. Nothing major, but some decent damage nonetheless. 2 probes do fall. Ryung getting his 3rd TC behind the wall. Nice SimCity here out of Ryung. Does get his 3rd TC, working towards Sim, working towards an eventual breakout. Outside of that, no major aggression. We do have MaxPax's follow-up going into +1, into Charge, into Gateway Explosion, into delayed Colossus production. This is relatively common and relatively safe. It does mean that if Ryung were to push anytime soon, then Charge Outs will be ready for this. Will be ready. As Ryung, he does attempt to break out. Again, ideally looking to expand. As we said, Linsis, yo, I shouted to Fizz. The Fizz Serpent in the chat as well. Gab, Papi, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime for 9 months as well. Thank you, Papi, thank you. Do appreciate it, Fizz Serpent, another regular competitor in our amateur events. So thank you so much. Look forward to seeing in future SDOs. As the Observer is going to be called out, does shut down the initial hallucination as well. MaxPax coming in for the punish. Army's out of position. Do we find anything here at the natural? Not quite. Going for the medevac, doesn't quite get it. MaxPax going to be forced back, bearing in mind he's only poking and prodding. Behind this, he's building up his forces, getting a 4th expansion as well as Ryung gets a 3rd. And MaxPax also getting ready for a Zealot drop into the main. Prisoners coming in. Turrets in position. Turrets will deflect. But again, the main base is huge. Yeah, there's multiple ways into the main. And it will be able to unload. Wouldn't mind to do burrow in time. Oh! One wouldn't mind just burrow. Has control here to MaxPax. He'll avoid the shots. But he will be cleaned up. He will be cleaned up. He gets 1. He gets 2 SCVs. Going for a 3rd SCV as well. Nice damage. Behind this, Colossus production has begun. And I am a little bit concerned here. I mean, it does seem like Ryung is going to be just turtling up and maxing out. I say that, never mind, he does go for the Unsiege, and we'll see what he can get done. Now, he has waited long enough where the first Colossus has already arrived. That was my biggest concern here, is that at this point, there's already a Colossus, there's already charge lots. MaxPax, he does miss the move out just barely. The armies, they pass by each other, and we might see Ryung successfully sneak up on this base. Okay, sees. Does he? Does no. Does spot the army. Behind this, MaxPax, he recalls back home. He's getting in position. There's recall on that prism. MaxPax getting in position here. Tanks there within range here of the Nexus. Tanks within range. Chargers diving in. Likewise, I set up here. Auto charts. They are a little bit premature here from Ryung, but they do come into play. And not bad. They shut down the Zealots. Zealots go down. Expansion's getting very low. Not trying to go for the Colossus. Colossus does go down. Yeah, nice pick off here from Ryung, and he will break down the expansion. Very nicely done here. Getting clean up the Zealots, takes down the Colossus. Ryung from here, he's not stopping. He's going to keep pushing in. I mean, again, there's no more Zealots. Just now reinforcing. MaxPax, he is in trouble. And Ryung, can he go for the kill? Tempted to dive. For now, playing it safe. Does kite back. Still rallying across the map. Again, Ryung, he knows how close he is to breaking MaxPax here and now. Second Colossus on the way. But can he break that next Colossus here and now? Oh, he's so close. Keep going. Send it back. Get some hull damage. Nicely done. Yeah, Zealots being cleaned up. Ryung, he does push through, takes down the Colossus. GG gets called as MaxPax, he will lose everything, and Ryung takes the lead in the series. Whew, GG. Again, a very, very tense moment there. Ryung, fortunately enough, he did get across the map unscouted. That was on MaxPax. If you recall, he did lose the initial observer outside of the natural, and he never replaced it. He never replaced that observer, so he only saw the army as it was already encroaching upon that upon the fourth base. So yes, MaxPax, he did rotate, he did react in time to get to the base, but not in time to get ahead of it, to slow down the siege and to protect the expansion. If you remember, the goal there for Ryung, which he did get away with, was sieging within range of the Nexus. So it forced, or MaxPax, he made the decision to try to save it. Of course, he had to push forward, he had to try to break that siege line, was unable to. GG. GG, well played. Also, shout out to the auto turrets as well. They actually did such a great job at tanking and just dealing with all those zealots. The first wave of zealots, they died so quickly, and again, really solid target firing out of Ryung to focus on that first Colossus. Whew. So very intense first game. Ryung does take a lead, and we'll see if he can take the 2-0. Let's go. We'll see if he can bring it home. Yo, hola amigos, ¿qué tal? ¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás? Bienvenidos. Bienvenidos. My passion is endless. That I will wait 4 years for merch. Let's go. Let's go. We'll get there eventually. We'll get there. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the Danish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Terran player from South Korea, the Tuna Terran himself, leading the series 1-0, representing Team Vitality. It is Ryung. Here we go. Now, when it comes to game one, again, it was very impressive, very decisive move there from Ryung, and again, did go unscattered for most of its move out. What I will say though, coming into Amygdala, yes, it is a large map, that is true. It does share some similarities with Starchild, but only some. The big thing here about Amygdala is how limited the attack paths are. So we have one attack path here towards the top side, and we have one attack path here towards the south side, and that is it. Only 2 attack paths, so it is easier to scout and move out. It is easier to see a Terran player moving out across the map. It isn't just that there are only 2 attack paths. There's the Zelnaga Tower covering both attack paths as well, and on top of that, again, because the attack paths are limited, it is easier to get your observers in position and to get eyes on that move out. We spoke about Starchild, and one of the big features of it is how there are multiple kind of avenues of attack at the 3rd, 4th, and 5th base, or the 3rd base locations, 4th base locations, which does make it more accessible. That is less so the case here, at least in the early to mid game. As the game progresses and as these rocks get knocked down, then suddenly the map does open up and you can kind of rotate between bases and be more aggressive and try to catch your opponent out of position. That is only in a later game state. So coming into this, we'll see how Ryung does approach this. We'll see what kind of build he goes for. We'll see what he does embrace. Hoshiyama. So now Ryung, he is scouting for proxies, making sure he doesn't get cheesed out. Checks the 3rd base locations. So far, so good. Likewise, behind this, getting into his own economic setup. Racks expand into factory. MaxPax likewise. I imagine he won't deviate too much. We have seen MaxPax embrace some higher gate count openers, and last game we did go for a 2-gate blink. This time we might see 3-gate blink instead. I mean, you could definitely argue that MaxPax has the best blink play and blink openers in StarCraft. Referring to 3-gate blink and 4-gate blink, his execution is unparalleled, and he has killed many a player solely off of that, including players like Clem. So we might see him be more aggressive. That's 7 the SCV. Hellions are on the way. And so far, it's going to be a 1-1-1. Interesting setup here, going for the add-on swap into Reactor to Hellion production. So Reactor and Hellion Tech Lab on the racks. Add-on swap is available here, and we can open up Banshee. Really fast Banshee play. I'm assuming Banshee, I mean, technically this could be Raven. Checking the vision of MaxPax, he does not see what's going on. Yep, there we go. Banshee opener here out of Ryung. This did become quite popular last year. Like last year amongst the Korean Terran players. We saw a lot of Cloak Banshee play and has been very successful. Did get played out a little bit, and nowadays it's a little bit more rare to see. But happy to see it nonetheless. And again, these Cloak Banshees, they can wreak havoc in this matchup. So far, the initial Hellions will shut down the Adept. They move it across the map. Back at home, how many gateways? We have 1 gate in the main. We have 2 gates at the natural. So this time, 3-gate blink out of MaxPax. Much safer play. He also walls up the natural. He is ready here for a Hellion dive into that natural base. So much safer here from our Protoss. Much safer play in general. Hellions, they poke in. They confirm. Oh, and we may delay the expansion. We may and we will. Probe goes down. The Prism is on the way. So with the War Prism in production, MaxPax, he will take a third, but he does intend on being aggressive. He intends on moving out and warping across the map. So a much more assertive style here. Now, this does also mean that there is not going to be any Stalkers at home to defend. So this Banshee has a lot of potential. Of course, MaxPax, he can reactively warp in. He can also race back if need be. But the Banshee does wander into the main. Again, it can 2-shot probes. And he will. Yeah, probes are going to be going down. MaxPax, he commits across the map. Getting up to 4, getting to 5 workers so far. Hellions, they threaten to dive into the natural. Stalkers in position. Doesn't let them through. Meanwhile, defensive Banshee catching out MaxPax. And no detection, no observer. No observer across the map. There is 1 observer back at home. Will defend, gets 7 probe kills so far. And the Stalkers have to get out, they have to bail. 4 SCVs, not bad. 4 SCVs do go down. And with that, Ryung, he is in a, I would say, a better position here. Hellions are still being active. He defends against the Stalkers. They lose 4 workers, that is true, but again, he still does more across the map. He defends, could have been worse. MaxPax looking for another way in. And he will find it. Tank is somewhat in position. We have some Banshees here at home as well. The Banshee did not initially go down. And, oh, the Banshee does pull away in time. Whew. Ryung, he's holding. He's holding on back. MaxPax does reinforce. At the same time, Hellions, they dive into the mineral line. They can maybe roast up a couple of probes. 3 Hellions are enough to one-shot. And he will one-shot. And gets 3, gets 4 probes so far. And potentially 1 more. Oof, barely towards the end. 5 probe kills. That's going to be 13 in total. Nice damage here by Ryung. 3rd CC's on the way. MaxPax behind this, going for his standard follow-up, going into a gateway explosion, +1 upgrades as well as charge. We saw this last game as well. So the same follow-up. MaxPax, can he deny stim? Oh, potentially. Very threatens a dive, going for the add-ons. And he will deny the reactor, or at least he attempts to. There we go, that's a kill, not a cancel. So reactor is delayed. Also, I like how he didn't need to, but he revealed the War Prism when doing that to make it look like he needed the Prism for high ground vision, which means he successfully does hide the observer. It's a little bit of attention to detail, but I appreciate it. So now Ryung, he's none the wiser. No scan yet. Has control. MaxPax does blink away. Ryung, meanwhile, being active with those Banshees. Oh, the sentry is tempting. Yeah, he wants the sentry. We'll snipe it. Ah, but he's getting caught out. Let's get the hell out of here. May lose 1. Does get away. Does get away. Ryung, he will come across the prism. Up, steps in. He wants it. He gets it. Does he notice? Does he notice the shimmer? As Dark Templar do warp in, and I don't think he did notice. Turrets are on the way. There we go. There's a scan. Takes down 1, but there's 1 DT left. Meanwhile, 3rd base under fire. Ryung out of position. Oof. Has to pull away. A lot of SCV is going to be going down. At the same time, Dark Templar can move in. Ryung, he will defend, but he will lose 5 workers and a lot of spine time as well. As there's still one Dark Templar on the map. Ryung, he will run into him, and he does notice. Does notice. So Rame coming in. Oh my god. Brutal mind connections. Decent connections here. At the same time, Ryung keeps pushing, gets spotted by the main army.
We embrace the glory of battle.
MaxPax in position. Tanks are exposed. Doesn't quite go for it though. Again, still a very tense moment here. As Ryung, he wants to push out, but won't quite be able to. Once again, reinforcing as he moves out. Another Zealot moves in. Wouldn't mind saying help, but they won't deal with this. Tanks are late to siege. Does siege up in time. And MaxPax, he doesn't commit. Again, the Zealot is brutal. Again, these Widow Mines are not good enough. Not to defend. Ryung clearly just wants to move in. Here we go, he does engage tanks. Once they late to siege up. Go for the Stalkers. Zealots, they do fall. He's going to show for the Colossus instead. He gets one. He wants it. Does get one. That cost him so much. So much supply just went down. The trade was brutal here. He lost 2 tanks, 11 Marauders, 2 Vikings as well. What did he get? He only got 1 Colossus, and he traded with Zealots mainly. That was well worth of a MaxPax. He does take the greater fight. Does take the fight. Does go for the chase. And Ryung is hurting. Ryung, he's hurting. His economy is delayed. MaxPax getting a 5th expansion. He's getting out of hand here. Ryung, he's building up more Vikings, but again, his production was delayed thanks to the 3rd base, of course, as there was no mining. MaxPax with a much superior economy. Another Zealot runway moving out. Is on the way. At the same time, MaxPax is up to 3 Colossus, getting a 4th Colossus as well. That's a lot of Colossus. Ryung is pinned against the wall. Just now making his first wave of ghosts. So he will soon have EMPs. Doesn't have them yet. Another Zealot on the way. So we have Zealots ready on the right, Zealots ready on the left. Zealots are everywhere. Oof. We're losing a Viking. And soon MaxPax can start Disruptor production. He's almost there. He's almost at those Disruptors. Moving in, takes down the bunker, encouraging above the mineral line. He's forcing Ryung's hand. As Ryung soon has to move in. Does get almost one. That was one Colossus. Elrame does hit the natural, does distract him. The ghosts are busy. The ghosts are pinned back, which means no AP on the main army. 11 SCV kills. Ay, ay, ay. 11 workers going down. Brutal Zealot run by. Let's catch a Warpism. Ryung, he can bring everything together. I believe he still has 6 ghosts. Okay, 6 ghosts. Without any disruptors of the main army, Ryung still has potential to dive in. And he will. Takes down 1. And massive EMP on the Stalkers. Yo, the Colossus, they go down one after the other. There's 1 never left. That's a lot of Vikings. The Colossus, they do go down. Oh, Never takes down one ghost. One ghost falls as Ryung moves out. Zelda Runway potentially getting ready. He wants that disruptor. Barely does not get it. Oh, he does. Barely does. Now MaxPax is in trouble here again. Lost every single Colossus. Mine shot's going up. Zelda coming from behind. Vikings do a great job at tanking. Oh no! Oh my god. Nova connects. Yeah, brutal Nova. One more Nova available. There's another Nova. And once again, Ryung, he's so close to breaking MaxPax. MaxPax, he has so many bases, so much economy. Ryung he has to do some damage. He backs off. Backs off. He rotates around instead. Checking the vision, MaxPax, he does not see the rotation. He somewhat does. Yeah, he's keeping up. He's keeping up. MaxPax taking every base on the map. And MaxPax is if given time, he will recover. As he's already in position. Oh. Already in position. This base will not go down. MaxPax, he successfully defends. Ryung denies one expansion, and again, he came so close. So close to breaking it. But now MaxPax is recovered. He has recovered, never goes up. 2 more Novas available. Brutal connections. The ghosts are going down. He's getting caught out. Yeah, losses at Ryung he can't quite afford. Like when it came to the push, he had to keep going. Last wasn't able to. And now Ryung is being outscaled. You can see the banks here. The bank is huge for MaxPax. So it's rebuilding, remaxing that much faster. Taking a greater supply lead. He's up to how many? Up to 8 disruptors. Wait for another silver armor. Yo, we got the landed Viking defense. Let's go. Ryung, he does hold. He's holding on. They do crazy army. And again, Ryung just doesn't have the supply he's looking for. The army just isn't large enough. Taking too many losses. 9 SCVs go down. And MaxPax is going in for the kill. He's maxed out at this point. He's up 50 supply. Ryung picking up whatever he can, but the death ball's moving in. He's moving in, but ever since that defense earlier, like MaxPax, he's just snowballed out of control from there. Takes down the planetary, takes down the CC. Ryung going for a run by, going for a counterattack, doing whatever he can, trying to force his army back home. And he will deal with this base. But he needs more than that. He needs like 3 more bases. So once again tries to come in. And again, he's pushing into 8 disruptors. It's not gonna happen. Not like this. Nova's a pop off. They shut down the main army. Ryung does keep going, but now we have reinforcements. Plenty of reinforcements. The warpins alone are large enough to deal with this. Popping up. Oh no! Ryung, he saves what he can. But the gap in supply here is just getting larger and larger. That's getting bigger. That's the main base. Main base floats over. As an attempted 4th. And GG gets called. MaxPax, he does overwhelm. And MaxPax sides up the series 1-1. Whew, we are going to the ace match. GG. And again, Ryung, he came so close to breaking MaxPax. I can see a world where that would have been a 2-0. Again, Ryung, he was gaining ground. He had a massive supply lead when he was able to shut down all the Colossus. But again, he barely didn't have enough momentum to keep on pushing towards that base. He made the decision to rotate. The problem was that his rotation got scouted. And because that MaxPax was able to keep up with the army rotating, he was able to keep up and protect the northern bases. And in the end, Ryung, he just ran out of steam. He ran out of steam. He was almost all in at that point. And with that, GG. GG, well played. We are going to the ace match. Let's go. We are going to the ace match here. The ace match is going to be on Killer's Mile. Ooh, okay, it's going to be a smaller map this time. Both Game 1 and Game 2 were on these larger maps, longer rush distance by ground. On these smaller maps, it does mean that if we were to see Ryung break out in such a fashion, he may have some more success. As MaxPax, he will have less time to react, less time to warp in, less time to scramble for a defense. We'll see, because that goes both ways. Likewise, MaxPax hasn't been overly aggressive so far. Every game in the series has been relatively macro-oriented. Game 1, we had 2-gate blink into a third base. Game 2, 3-gate blink into a third base as well, into delayed warp-ins across the map. I mean, the Banshees did cause a lot of havoc. True, right? Remember, it all started with the Banshee opener, where the Banshees dealing damage, likewise defending back at home, so able to force longer games. But we might see MaxPax commit to something more aggressive this time. We'll see. We shall see. What did you call me? Oh no. Shama, papi, Shama. But it looks like our players need some time. They do need a moment here. I don't blame them. I mean, it's been a very intense series so far, an intense back and forth. So the players are asking for a moment as we get ready here for the ace match. Likewise, we do still have Beyond versus Rogue after this series. We'll get there. We will get there. And again, we have seen Ryung pop off and take down players like MaxPax and players like Hero before, but it's a rare sight. It is a rare sight. Like Ryung, he is mainly known for TvT. He's known for his positional play, where we've seen Ryung. I mean, I would say Ryung is one of the main reasons, unironically, that Clem no longer plays TvT. Like Ryung has some of the best TvT in the world, and we've seen him take down Clem time again, until eventually Clem, he just had enough. And yeah, here in the TvP matchup, he's had only mixed success from Ryung. Every now and then he pops off, but tonight he has been on fire. Again, I can see a world where he would have taken the series 2-0 in that second game. We'll see if he can bring it back, or if MaxPax does advance on into the winner's match instead. Let's go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Killer's Mile, we have the Danish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the TvT sniper himself, playing a TvP though, from South Korea, representing Team Vitality. It is Ryung. Here we go. I'd like to believe that due to their most recent pickup, Ryung is maybe more tempted to, or actually, I would say that potentially, with Zaun now joining Team Vitality, maybe there is a little bit more practice going on between the players, or at least discussion amongst the players as well. Could attribute that a little bit to Ryung's success in this series. We'll see. As for now, we are opening up and we're settling in. And welcome one and all to Killer's Mile. Killer's Mile, again, has a very direct path across the map, very straightforward. We have seen a lot of players struggle to defend the third base. Specifically, the third and fourth bases are more exposed on this map. There's a very wide entrance here towards that third base, likewise towards the fourth base as well. There's no ramp. I mean, there are ramps a little bit further out, but again, if an army can get up the ramp and get onto the same plane of elevation, it can be quite difficult to defend because of how short the rush distance is. So we have seen a lot of players have success with aggression here on this map. We have seen some players try to expand linearly and go for the linear third and take the space instead. And it does, in some ways, feel a little bit more defendable. The problem with expanding here on the right-hand side is that it is quite awkward to rotate between your third and your natural. Like, this area in between can be abused quite heavily, and it can make for an awkward defense. Whereas if you expand towards the triangular third base, you can try to just fully wall off the ramp, as the ramp into the natural is very narrow, very narrow. Here we go. But now we have our openers. Economic opener out of Ryung once again, going for a Rax expand. Last game we saw Rax expand into Reactor Hellion Banshee play. This time no add-on swap. This time there's no add-on on the Rax. This time there's no Hellion or mass Hellion production. Zealot does arrive, will delay the bunker. Uh-oh. And the Adept is on the way. Adept is on the way. Boys are being pulled. Without the bunker finishing, it's going to be a tough hold as the CC is delayed once again. 2 SCV kills. The bunker will complete just in time, but the Adept is going to wreak havoc here, getting another SCV, at least trying to. Getting 3 in total. CC does finish. But there was under the Sim City. No, the Sim City's not there. Adept does bust in, and this is disastrous. So disastrous start here for Ryung. 4 SCV kills, more lost mine time, losing up to 5 potentially. Bit of a mistake towards the end, but another SCV goes down. This is brutal. Feel Sim City, man, as Ryung looks like he might not have too much experience on this map, and unfortunately, not there we go. We have to float the factory all the way over. He gets in. Okay, not this time. Not quite this time. Does my mining at the natural? This is a very awkward setup here. No, he gets in for a second time. Not like this. Okay, he does cancel the shade, doesn't commit. Could if he so chose to. Tech Lab now on the way. Again, the SimCity is very, very messy here. Very messy, but you know what? It's kind of working. Second Rax is on the way. This makes sense. 2-base all in. We're setting up for what looks to be a 2-base all in here from Ryung. Hellion hits a natural. Now, I'm expecting a third Rax. We'll see. I'm expecting a third Rax here out of Ryung. If we see a third Rax, it should be a 2-base all in. We may even pull the boys with this. Bearing in mind these are Raxes. Yep, there it is. There's a third Rax. So third Rax before Starport. That's the tell. The Starport is heavily delayed in favor of Mass Marine and in favor of Stim. There's going to be a Stim timing here. The tanks are building up as quickly as possible. We should be able to get up to 3 tanks in total in time for the all-in. Again, I'm leaning towards all-in. Technically, this can lead into a macro game with a very late third TC. But based on the early game economic damage, it makes a lot more sense here for Ryung to just double down. MaxPax does take his third. Third base on the way, getting into Blink. How many gates? 3. 3-gate Blink here out of MaxPax. The Prism has arrived, so it's going to be reinforcing. Going to be pushing further in. Oh god, the main is huge. The main base is massive. Oh my god. Boys are being pulled. Tanks are trying to set up. I mean, the main base is suffering from the lack of SimCity because of this. Because of this, fumbled wall. It means that this production, which is usually here protecting the tank, is not. So the main base is looking larger than it is just because of whatever the hell happened here. Zora gets caught. The army blinks in. Getting within range here of the Rax. Okay, slowing down the push. Blinking behind the mineral line. Okay, 2 more CVs. Ryung, he's still building up. There's the add-on swapping the medevacs, and once the medevacs arrive, then Ryung can push. Now, he only made 2 tanks, not 3. So this leads me to believe that we might get more gases on the way. We might see a third CC. Might see a third command center here for Ryung. Instead of committing. I mean, we'll keep an eye on his unsiege. We'll see if he moves out with everything or just a drop. Stalkers into the mineral line. More SV kill. Ryung does not have much to work with. As Ryung, he's not making any SCVs. He's not making any more workers. He's not building up his economy. Let's see if he does pull the boys. And now pushing across the map. Yet there it is. The boys are being pulled. It's all or nothing here. And the Observer sees everything. The Observer does see the move out. And this is the only real option here for Ryung because of the early game. He just lost so much, lost too much. It was heavily delayed. And that also means that this all-in is also delayed as well. is the problem here. Zealous, they charge in, they tank all the SCVs. Oh, it's going to be 10 SCV kills. Their workers, they all go down. Now just the army remaining. Stims in. It'll be 17 SCV kills. It gets one of the sentries. More Zealous warp in. And MaxPax, he's fine. He's going to be fine here. He dives into one of the tanks. He gets one. And we'll get the other tank as well. Does take an extra tank shot though. Oh my god. Yeah, MaxPax targeting the medevac, not the tank. Ryung? Can he pull this off? It's getting close. It's getting a little bit closer. That was a massive tank shot. Mine shot. Oh, doesn't quite connect. Not yet. Ryung hiding well. Yeah, no friendly fire. Widowmine does burrow. Going for the sentry, going for the stalker. Ryung, has he done it? Has he broken through? Again, MaxPax, there was a blunted moment there where he attacked the medevac, not the tank. And that was the moment where all the stalkers went down. That's making this even closer here. The Colossus has arrived. Ryung, he's trying to stem in. Emphasis on trying. He's running out of steam. Running out of steam. It was close. Again, MaxPax did blunder the defense, but alas, he will still hold on. GG gets called, and MaxPax, he will hold, he will survive. He will take the series at 2-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played, MaxPax. He will claim the series. Very close, very intense best of 3 here. Was very back and forth. And as I mentioned before, there is a world where Ryung wins at 2-0. He was so close in that second game to breaking MaxPax on Amygdala. But alas, MaxPax, he did survive. He did hold. He persevered. Same with here on Killer's Mile as well. GG. GG, well played. MaxPax does make it through, and again, just a really messy game here for game 3. Really unfortunate. Like, I don't think Ryung's initial plan was to go for an all-in, but he was forced into it. Again, Ryung, he did lose quite a lot early on in the early game. It was just a really messy opener when it came to the Sim City, when it came to the Adepts. A lot of SVs went down, and that did kind of force Ryung's hand. And with that, we're getting into our second series of the broadcast. So MaxPax does advance on into the next round, into the winners match. Meanwhile, who will face off against MaxPax and who will face off against Ryung? We're here to find out. We're here to find out. As videos are underway. And you can see the group before you. Here we go. We have 4 players. We have MaxPax, Ryung, Byun, and Rogue. We have our top 4 players. We have our 4 players here in Group D. And as you can see, MaxPax is now waiting in the winners match, and Ryung is waiting in the elimination match. So both players are waiting for their opponents. Up next, best of 3 between Byun and Rogue. Let's go. Let us go. So we're going to be going on a short break. Going to be going on a short break here. When we come back, once the videos are done, we'll have our next series. We'll have that Terran versus Zerg. Let's go. Let's go. We'll see you guys soon after the break. See you soon. Bye. See you soon.